Our next Reddit post is from Neurotic. I've been a teacher for the past 13 years. Most parents are fine. They care for and love their children and treat me and my colleagues with respect. You have the occasional parent you don't see because they don't care, the occasional helicopter parent, and, of course, the parent who doesn't believe they're raising Satan's offspring. The latter type of parent is one that I had the misfortune of dealing with for 2 years. I was the mentor of 20 kids in their first 2 years of secondary school. This one kid started secondary school with me as a mentor. He started out all right. He just had a few minor issues that were normal for a teenager trying to fit in. It all started after the Christmas holiday of that first year. Nothing special happened, but it was like a switch just flipped inside of this kid. He started bullying classmates, pushing people around, being extremely disruptive in class, and cursing at teachers. We even suspected that he was stealing things from teachers and students, but we couldn't prove it. His mom and dad were invited to come to the school many times. The school counselor and my boss sat in on many of these conversations with these parents. The mother denied that her son would ever do such things. We didn't take it any further because we had no grounds to expel the son. Summer break came, and due to the fact that a lot of things went missing, cameras were installed. When classes started for year 2, the student had become much worse. We had to call his mom 5 times in the first week alone. Apparently, she was surprised that I was the only teacher complaining. Like, what the actual heck, lady? Did you not listen when I said that multiple teachers complained through me, and that I told you multiple times that all the teachers had a problem with him? Eventually, she demanded that she get a call or email from the teachers if her son ever did anything wrong. She said, and I quote, "But I highly doubt that, since I know my son would never do the things that you said." I was fuming at this point, and I said that I would talk to my colleagues. Cue the malicious compliance. Mommy wants a call or email from a teacher who saw her son doing something wrong? Sure thing. Her kid was being such a butthole by now that he was well known throughout the school. So in my next school-wide meeting with all the teachers, I told them what the mother requested. There were some frowns here and there, but then I saw it. Teachers' eyes glistened. Evil grins started to come out, along with evil laughter. At this point, this kid was setting some kind of record with having 20 reports a day for him doing something wrong. The very next day, the kid walked up to a classmate and started insulting him and his mother. 2 teachers saw him do that, so 2 teachers sent an email to Mommy Dearest. I had him during 3 lessons, and I saw a variety of terrible behavior, so 3 more emails were sent. During the first break, the kid threw a trash can. 3 teachers and a custodian saw it, so 4 more emails. Then the custodian sent her another email, telling the mother that he refused to clean up after her and that he threw a chair before leaving. He had more classes across 6 teachers, so you guessed it, 6 emails and 3 phone calls to Mommy Dearest. So, on average, Mommy got 15 emails a day from the teachers alone. I had the immense pleasure to call or email her every day to give her a recap. After 2 weeks of this, the mother called me, and the conversation went like this. "Yeah, so I saw the emails. This is getting a bit much now." But is it? The last time we spoke here at school, you demanded that every teacher or worker at school should call you or send you an email whenever they saw your kid do something wrong. We're simply adhering to your request to be kept up to date and that you hear from my colleagues personally. You can stop now. Unfortunately, we can't. Since your kid is doing all these things, it's our duty to keep you up to date. Also, you requested this, and we don't want you to get upset by not knowing what's going on with your kid. This is getting out of hand. Is it? I don't think so. My colleagues even said that they love that you're being such an involved parent and that you like to hear from them. So, thank you for that. Bye now, and I hung up. This went on for another 8 weeks. The mother would call or email us a couple of times a week and get the same response from me and the other teachers. Things continued like this until the kid screwed up in a major way. The kid decided that shouting, cursing, and insulting just wasn't enough anymore. When I went to talk to him about his behavior, he picked up a chair and tried to hit me with it in full view of the class, colleagues, and cameras. The kid was tackled and pinned down by classmates. My colleague called the cops, and I managed to get away with no broken bones, but some huge bruises. The school filed charges for me. The funny part is that I now got to sit with Mommy Dearest and Dad, and even then she tried to deny that her son would ever do such a thing, until she and the father saw the footage. The look on their faces was priceless. I wish I could have recorded it so I could watch it time and time again with soda and popcorn. The kid was expelled, got hefty community service, a fine, and even a juvenile record. To answer a likely question, where was the father in all this? The dad was apparently kept in the dark about what the kid did. The dad divorced the mom because apparently she had been lying about a bunch of different things. The dad actually felt so sorry for what his son had done that he sent care packages for all personnel at the school. And the best part, we don't have to deal with the kid or the mom ever again. The kid's younger brother started going to our school, and now we have to email and call the dad to tell him what a wonderful kid his boy was. Also, before people grab the pitchforks, OP points out in an edit that she and other people in the school did everything they could to help this kid. They worked with counselors, therapists, and even CPS, but the kid just didn't improve. OP didn't include that part of the story because it just wasn't relevant to the malicious compliance. Also, down in the comments, we have this story from Rage Parrot. I work at a school, and the principal had the mother come and watch through a window how bad her child was being. She completely didn't believe that her kid would throw chairs, curse, and generally just be a nuisance to the other kids. The mother's tune changed real quick from, "My little angel would never do that," to, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea." Today I effed up by visiting Auschwitz while ill-informed. A few years ago, my uncle invited my friend and myself along to a trip to Poland. He was planning on visiting Auschwitz I and Auschwitz-Birkenau. I said yes, because I felt that it was important for me to learn about the details of what went on. I was still quite young, and I'd only learned more general information about the war in the camps, and I never really bothered to do my own research. You know how it goes. Let me set the scene a little bit here. The morning of had arrived, and we were all ready to go. I was unsure of the weather. It was hot and humid, but it would likely rain later and cool down quite a bit. My friend looks at me and goes, "Are you gonna wear that?" And I say yes, thinking that the shirt's probably warm enough in case it does get colder, so I won't even need to bring a jacket. Alright then, off we go. We get to the first camp and the tour begins. It was fascinating and horrifying, but I suppose that's to be expected. As our group makes its way through the camp, I'm surprised by how much information is completely new to me, and how much worse it was than I had initially learned. At some point, we go into the building where they show the suitcases, shoes, hair, things like that. I think we were about halfway into the tour, which would make it a few hours total. I was staying close by the tour guide so I could hear him better, and the guide then leads us into the room where they showcase the prisoners' uniforms. It was at this point that I realized that I screwed up. I'm standing next to the tour guide and the prisoners' uniforms, absolutely mortified. The shirt that I was wearing looked exactly like the prisoners' uniforms. I had no idea that this was what my friend tried to warn me about, and I had bleach blonde hair and blue eyes to boot. When we got outside, I asked why no one said anything before we left. My friend said that she did say something, so she figured that I knew and that I was trying to make some sort of statement. Hadn't I ever seen the boy in the striped pajamas? I hadn't, nor any other type of media that showed the uniforms or other details of prisoner life. Somehow, I managed to avoid the specific detail for 18 years or so, and it would come back to bite me. I was stuck feeling like a butthole for the rest of the day. Too long didn't read. I visited Auschwitz, and I accidentally cosplayed as a prisoner.